Howdy y'all. You got the Bulldog on the channel. Here's an instance where you got all this stuff on your vehicle that covers everything up and makes it all nice and neat underneath. You don't look at the bottom, but they put these big panels on there that cover it all up. The idea is to cut wind from underneath the vehicle, improve fuel mileage. Well, you're driving something with the aerodynamics of a brick. So what difference does it make if it's got a little air underneath of it? But they put it on there anyway. These trucks, especially, as far as full size go, I think these are the worst. But, you know, I'm an independent out here, so I don't see brand new stuff all the time. I've seen these engines. It's a 5-liter Ford, just light years improvement over the 5.4, and I don't have a whole lot of trouble with it, although it has some water leaks. I've seen that, you know, multiple times, multiple issues, but that's what this one's in here for, and it's pretty significant. He called and he said, hey, got a pretty big water leak under my truck at the back of the engine. Back of the engine? It's a 5.0, isn't it? Yeah. I've never seen the back of the engine leaking. Well, it's coming off the back. Huh, all right. Are you sure it's not coming off the front and running to the back? I don't think so. I looked at the front and I can't see anything coming off the front, so I think it's coming off the back. I assumed that when we got this thing in here, that I would be looking at where those heater hoses go into the firewall. They got quick connectors there. They're plastic. They like to crack on all applications. Every one of them does it. So I assumed I would be looking there, put a little pressure on it, and we'll start seeing it drip. But it leaks with no pressure, really. As you can see by the gigantic puddle. Although I thought that this truck's pulled up against the fence tight enough that, well, yeah, that's my excuse. It's pulled too far against the fence. I'm not too fat, it's just too close. But I looked at it, and those things aren't leaking, so let's just go ahead and check, because I've seen this several times. Whistler. Right down in here, you can see, there we go, I just threw it down there. There's one of the radiator hoses, and right behind that, back in behind, you can't see anything, can you? You see all that crusty stuff on the connector there? That's the remnants of dried antifreeze. Now, if we get a little bit further, where that side is shiny, I mean, it's really too shiny. That means it's wet. So we got fluid dripping down across that, running down through there, and you can't see it because it's dark, but there's a pan underneath there that covers the bottom of the motor. You can't see nothing out of it. So it fills up this pan. Some of them are even fiber with a sound deadener in there, and it soaks up. So it'll leak for quite a while before you even know there's anything wrong. It'll hold a lot. Then you stop and it runs out, because now it's stationary, and it'll make a big puddle. Makes it look worse than it is. It hasn't even lost much pressure. Maybe 1 pound. I pumped it up to, I think, 12. So even though somebody's looked at it, that doesn't mean that that's still where it is, because fluids can travel. They'll cling, the wind blows, And especially if the manufacturer puts in a great big flat panel. Let's get underneath it. I haven't even looked underneath of it. I didn't want to get down on the dirty ground. Oh! Oh! Dude's got the bike out. It's a warm day. Nice December day to go riding. But see this big panel? It's all wet. Not dripping off wet, but wet. And that fluid gets in there and just travels back and runs off the back side of it. It's probably running out of that hole right there. Also, now you can see it dripping now. Let's see here. Right there it was dripping. Wait for a minute. Drip. Okay, here's our culprit here. We got it inside. We got another pressure tester hooked up to it. Now I'll show you. This is why you can't always trust where it comes out on the ground. Now, that's all it takes. Just a little wiggle. It's either got an O-ring blown out or the housing is cracked. Either way, the dealer has one in stock. They're going to be delivering out here shortly. Okay, they just delivered the new part. Here's the number. Yeah, there we go. It's in focus. A lot of this stuff we don't bother looking aftermarket. Dealer is usually cheap, or as cheap as the aftermarket is. So we just get it. It's got everything it needs. You want frustration? You saw that it was an OE part that we just bought. Got to put on here. This fits okay. Leaks like a sieve. OE part. Factory hose. It'll fit. Okay. What we did was we got a new O-ring to go into the upper hose assembly here. And although it still feels a little loose and wiggly, it's holding air. Holding pressure pretty good. So we measured the nipples on that assembly that we replaced, 12 thousandths smaller on the new one than the old one. The old one fit good into the upper radiator hose. OE parts. Plastic junk. I'm gonna fill this thing back up, put the rest of it back together, fix something today. Ready for a test drive right now. Double check everything, make sure it's good to go. Got the antifreeze topped off right on the level. So we've got, I looked in there, you can't see it with everything in the way, but down in here behind it, that's where it was shiny before, and it's not anymore. Of course, I had it all pressured up inside. But that is a warning to people. Just because you got new parts, that doesn't mean that you're good to go. Even new parts, OE parts, might not fit correctly. I'm gonna pull this out of the way. Call the customer, let them know it's ready to go. Customer was just here, picked up his truck. He was happy that it's all taken care of. I mean, it doesn't cost a whole lot, but it's still more than it should be for a couple pieces of plastic and some rubber. But it's done, so we're good there. Where like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.